It's getting cold. You know, I'm thinking to myself, why did Bakugan stick in our heads when we were young and even now? And I thought the answer was simple at first. I thought, hey, they're marbles that transform. That was cool to kids. Or we were young, so we were impressionable. And, well, those are true, but there's a lot of toys that made a big hit, and people forgot about them. But Bakugan stuck around. It was very easy for us to go, oh yeah, I remember that. I gotta ask the question, why did it stay fresh? And I think I know the answer. Masquerade. A lot of you know where I'm going with this, but hear me out anyway. You see, I've been rewatching the series for a while now, and I took off my rose-colored glasses, and I realized one thing. The writing is really bad. It has a lot of cool elements that work really well. The alternate world of Astroya collapsing, the discovery of the Bakugan, the mystery behind Hal G, the silent and infinity cores holding great power, the idea behind the white Bakugan and how Naga and Wyvern were outcasts. I can go on.
Contact with the infinity core's energy immediately draws it in, and amazing things happen. Some are simple and pure, while others are so amazing they could even be called miracles. Everything needs this energy to survive.
There's a lot of good elements in this show, but they weren't used well. A lot of the show's drama was forced. Their decisions didn't make sense, and they would change their minds without much reason. The episodes were often formulaic and forced a Bakugan brawl just to show off the toys they were trying to sell. You can tell they didn't actually have rules set around the game, and the writers were just making stuff up as they went along. I actually ended up skipping most of the fight scenes because they became boring, which is weird because that's supposed to be the action, that's supposed to be the most engaging part, but it just felt like the filler of the episodes. The characters were often one-dimensional, and the only connection we got with them was when they were trying to evolve their Bakugan, and we got to see what actually made them human.
No, you can't fool me.
Huh? Well,
There now. It's my job as your mother to know what you're up to.
I'm sorry. I knew you weren't feeling well, and I didn't want you to be here all by yourself.
Thank you, Shun. Oh, look at that. When I was young, I used to wish the sun would never set. That way I could play as long as I wanted to. I had so many friends back then, almost as many as you do now. That was a really happy time. My friends and I would play all kinds of games. We had so much fun. Sunsets like that don't last forever, so enjoy them while you can.
She's just like my mom.
Don't let it get to you.
And this is what I feel most people like about Shun. There's so many people that enjoy Shun as a character, and they should. He has a great backstory, and he has a great foundation, a great platform for making a great character. But people tend to forget that he's a jerk the majority of the show. Like, wow. People only really liked Marucho because of Preus. Preus is great. I'm not gonna lie. Preus? Yes, but Marucho is that stereotypical, according to my calculations, we have this much chance in order to beat this guy. However, the comedy of the show still had me laughing.
Really?
Okay! I'd say it's time to celebrate! Garçon, another round over here! On Runo's tab.
Easy, Big Spender!
Laserman, stand! What? He's using Darkest Laserman again?
Just be careful, Dan. Masquerade has something up his sleeve.
Ha! When I'm done, he's gonna wish he never even got dressed!
You ask me why I battle, Alice? I'll tell you. It's because I'm a winner and I need to win to survive. And what I hate most are losers. You see, I'm on a quest to become the best Bakugan gamer there is. And trust me, I won't let anything stand in my way. It is the will of Naga, and it will be done.
You need help.
I couldn't have said it better myself, Alice. The characters were quirky, and that gave them their charm and kept us coming back. The ideas the show was presenting was new and interesting, so we wanted to see where it would lead. But Masquerade is what made the biggest impact, the main antagonist of the whole show. well, one of the main antagonists. There's a lot of main antagonists in the show. It gets a little confusing at times. Episode 39, Masquerade Unmasked, just wept everyone with a surprise. He takes off his mask, and you realize it's Alice of the Bakugan Brawlers. And everyone stopped, and every kid shouted, "What? You mean Masquerade's a girl? Or is Alice a boy?"
It's a trap!
How does this make sense? After rewatching the show, I realized they dropped a lot of hints about how Alice was Masquerade. I mean, it was blatantly right there, but I was never willing to accept that as a kid. And because of that big reveal of Masquerade being Alice, that broke down a lot of walls in our heads. It took us time to accept it, but over time, we understood that we didn't need to, well, understand it. We just needed to accept it and move on, continue with the story. And it's those conversations that sparked when we were kids back in grade school about the show. I think that's one of the biggest parts as to why it still sticks in our heads. It's that conversation that we had. Actually, it's a conversation we're still having. Look, I made a video of it right now. I still read in the comments sometimes, is Masquerade a girl or is Alice a boy? And it doesn't matter. They're both. And neither, I guess. And with the new limelight of LGBTQ and transgender rights, we immediately labeled these things onto Masquerade and Alice, even though they don't actually apply. And hopefully the new Bakugan series can have a shock like this, akin to the original Bakugan. But maybe it can't have it to where it's trying to push a message, push this positive, progressive, gay rights, transgender rights, something. It can't. Don't get me wrong, those are all good things, but the original Bakugan series didn't do that. I don't even think they even thought of that when they were creating the series. My favorite part about the original series, when they revealed Alice was Masquerade, none of the brawlers made fun of her gender switching or even alluded to it. They just focused on Alice and the struggle she had, understanding that she was the biggest problem to her friends. And that's how it should be. The writing should focus on the characters, not the message, not the agenda. The point of these shows is entertainment. It's not to teach this grand lesson. It's not to have a star at the end saying, "The more you know." They focused on the character, and that's what they should have done. And that's why I still love Bakugan, even though it has a lot of flaws. It has so many flaws, but at its core, it's a solid work. And that's how these shows should be. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Stay beautiful and keep playing.
Hey, cheer up. I think some groovy tunes may be just what the doctor ordered to snap us out of this nasty funk.